ESPN College Football presented by ExxonMobil. We come to you from Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana. Boston College off to its best start since the Matt Ryan days. The Eagles in the top 25 for the first time in a decade, while Purdue searches for its first win of the season. Good afternoon, Anish Shroff alongside Ahmad Brooks. I think we can all safely say Clemson is the team to beat in the ACC. Boston College, a popular preseason dark horse, 3-0 to start the season. What's BC's case as the #1 contender to Clemson?
Well, I think they've got a serious case when you look at the combination of offense and defense we're seeing out of Boston College. It's the best we've seen in years. You look at the defensive side of the ball, 11 sacks, which ranks them 6th in FBS. 6 interceptions on the year, which ranks them 7th in the FBS. They've got NFL talent on that side of the ball. But the big surprise for me has been the offensive production, averaging 40 points a game behind this guy's shoulders after scoring only 40 points 3 times last season. Anthony Brown has drastically improved his game, becoming one of the best play action and deep ball passers in the country. Boston College is the real deal, and today they're looking to prove that once again.
Head coach Steve Addazio told us yesterday that this is a special group. The expectations are pretty high up in Chestnut Hill, and BC has a chance to have one of its best seasons in a long time. Purdue won the toss. They deferred. BC will receive. It's the first day of fall. It's homecoming here in West Lafayette. Spencer Evans will kick it off for Purdue. Michael Walker for BC. And Walker to the 32 as we say hello to Mark Morgan.
Anish, thank you very much. This is the 4th straight home game for Purdue to start the regular season. The Boilermakers have lost all 3 by a total of only 8 points. And head coach Jeff Brom told us that his team's margin for error is very slim. And today, against this ranked Boston College team, his club needs to play smart, error-free football.
Penalties, mistakes have been a big part of Purdue's 0-3 start. On first down, the give is to A.J. Dillon, and he is wrapped up after a pickup of about 3 by Kenneth Major, who's getting the start at cornerback. And Dillon, one of the best running backs in the country. And as you mentioned in the open, Ahmad, Anthony Brown's play has given defenses caution. You want to load the box against Dillon. Brown can beat you with his arm over the top. But to start things out, it's Dillon on back-to-back carries.
Yeah, and that's been the difference with Boston College that you alluded to is in the past, they've had good running backs, but the passing element is where they've struggled. But now, even in these types of situations, Anthony Brown's athleticism and passing abilities make them a team that is fearful in these types of situations.
Brown coming off the best game of his career on third down. Incomplete. It was tipped, intended for the tight end Tommy Sweeney. And 3 and out goes Boston College.
That's a great start for the Boilermakers. You see it here. They had the open space. The defensive lineman there giving great effort as Lorenzo Neal sticks up his paw and knocks down that ball on third down and forcing the punt from the Eagles.
Grant Carlson to punt, the dangerous Rondell Moore back deep. And Moore makes the fair catch. A flag is down. Ball came out, recovered by Boston College, but this could be kick-catch interference. You have to allow the return man room to catch the football.
And they've got to be able to contain this young man. The coverage here just a tad bit eager. Moore, one of the best returners in the country. He's electric with the ball in his hand.
Kick, catch, and interference. Boston College on the kickers. A 15-yard penalty being forced from the spot of the foul. first down.
And while that's a penalty, it's another special teams miscue. And if you want to find an area to nitpick Boston College, special teams, they missed an extra point last week. They muffed a punt. Their punter had another ball go through his hands, which resulted directly in a Wake Forest touchdown. Special teams has been a little problematic. So Purdue will begin at its own 38-yard line. David Blau coming off a career game. The quarterback for the Boilermakers did not begin the season as the starter, but Jeff Brom told us he's the guy moving forward after a 572-yard performance last week. Play action. Blau under pressure. Buying time and then blown up. Tanner Carafa, the nose tackle.
This is great protection early on. Now, watch the running back here and just come pick up Connor, one of the toughest players on this football team, and Blau looking for a place to throw the football, but great containment there as the Eagles come up with the sack.
A run here on second down. A couple of nice moves by DJ Knox. And he's to the 35. It sets up 3rd and long. As so much attention, Ahmad, given to Boston College's defensive ends, Wyatt Ray and Zach Allen. Go figure, it's one of the tackles inside. Carafa getting the quarterback on that first play. Empty backfield here. Purdue 45% on the young season on 3rd downs. A 4-man twist by BC. Blau over the middle. Intended for his tight end, Cole Herdman. He makes the catch. And there's a flag down at the end of the play.
Looks like that'll be pass interference on the defense, but what a dart here from
Pass interference.
Blau.
Defense, number 13. Penalties decline. Result of the play. It's a first down.
That ball was thrown with pinpoint accuracy as Connor Strahan, who was actually in coverage, called for the pass interference. And, man, that ball was put in the prime location, and the tight end goes up and high points the football for a big 3rd down completion.
Now with the BC 40. Blau last week set the Purdue school record for passing yards. 2nd highest total by a Big Ten quarterback. Blau again to the air. Hit by Allen. Throws it into coverage. Nearly intercepted. Broken up by Brandon Sebastian. Hamp Cheevers was there as well. Intended target was Terry Wright.
You know, watch this hit from the All-American Zach Allen, number 2. He just completely upends Blau. Did not buy the fake, and boy, did he take a shot. And then if you're here in the secondary, you've got to make this play well covered on the back end, but you'd like to see them come down with the interception as Brandon Sebastian had the best shot to haul it in.
Here is Knox. He's been their leading rusher through 3 games, and he's able to pick up 3.5. Knox came in averaging a Big Ten best 7.2 yards per carry.
Yeah, and for the Purdue offense, they've got to start fast and finish, and they've done that. And if you're Boston College, they've got to dominate on 3rd down. You see the big 3rd down completion for the Boilermakers already. They can't let that happen if they look to stop this offense.
Empty again here on 3rd down. Wow, completes near side, and there is the electric freshman, Rondell Moore. And he's able to move the chains for Purdue, so Moore, who came in leading the conference in catches, picks up another 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, he's special, and this kid here has so much wiggle, and that's the matchup they're looking for right now. If you're Boston College, you've got to do something else. Connor Strahan is an excellent linebacker, but to ask him to cover Moore is asking for something that I don't think he can do all game long.
Wow, finding Isaac Zico, and Zico takes it inside the 20, another first down. Zico coming off a 100-yard receiving game. One of 3 Boilermakers over the century mark in the loss to Missouri last week. Good start here for Purdue, but this is an area they've got to be better. 14 red zone possessions on the season, only 6 touchdowns. Jared Sparks on the jet sweep. And Sparks takes it down to the 10-yard line, close to a first down. In that loss to Mizzou, it was Sparks who had a touchdown that would have put Purdue ahead, but it was overturned. And that ended up deciding the game. Purdue had to settle for a field goal. Missouri got the ball back, marched down the field, and kicked the field goal as time expired. On second and short, the give is to Knox. Able to move the chains to set up a first and goal for Purdue.
And I really like the rhythm right now that this offense is in. They're mixing it up, you know. They're hitting them with outside runs, jet sweeps. They're going over the middle of the field. They're passing outside, really forcing this defense to defend the length and the width of the field.
DJ Knox now split wide. He's at the bottom of your screen. In motion. Little pop pass. Not much for Rondell Moore, upended by Tajamir Torres, the senior from Amherst, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and in talking to the defensive coordinator for Boston College, Jim Reed, he said with all the misdirection and the movement they do in the backfield, you've really had to have disciplined eyes and have studied film, because they give you various looks. This is a multiple offense that the Boilermakers run, and that time well defended by Boston College.
Gibbons to Knox. Lost the football. Was he down first? They say he was down. It'll bring up a 3rd and goal. Tried to extend while that knee was down. And Purdue will hang on to the football.
You can see that left knee hit the ground first before this ball is jarred loose by the ground, reaching for that extra yardage.
Purdue on the doorstep. Before we went to break, the officials had signaled a timeout. No timeout charged to either team. The last play was reviewed. They looked at the official replay. The call on the field was confirmed, and the call on the field was no fumble. DJ Knox was down, so Purdue's got the ball at the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Boilermakers. David Blau, the quarterback for the Boilers, did not begin the season as the starter. Elijah Sindelar did. Sindelar struggled in the first game against Northwestern. Blau came on in relief. Blau started the last 2 games, and he was sensational last Saturday right here against Missouri. 572 yards, breaking Curtis Painter's school record for passing yards. Only Dave Wilson of Illinois threw for more yards as a Big Ten quarterback. That was against Ohio State back in 1980. Blau's a 5th-year senior. He's the leader of this team. Great personality. He's a big ping pong player. Used to be the best ping pong player on the team. Now second best to Jackson Anthrop. Likes card tricks.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable performance, and I think he started off with the same rhythm.
Magic tricks and ping pong. When Mark Morgan and I talked to David yesterday, he said he had to give up the ping pong mantle, because once Jackson beat him, he said, I just couldn't be that guy who's challenging everybody and ready to play. So now Jackson Anthrop is the new ping pong champion in West Lafayette.
He doesn't have the juice anymore.
Right.
He's got it on the field now, so that works.
But he's the unquestioned leader of this team, 5th-year senior. Knox on 3rd down. Powers in for a Purdue touchdown.
What an excellent cut. You get penetration on the defensive line for Boston College. And it was that sudden acceleration and cutting ability there of Knox that allowed him to squeeze in that hole, get upfield. Great job of getting his pads forward and punching one in the end zone.
PAT by Evan. Walker. Speeding across the 20, has the 30. Midfield into Purdue territory for a 58-yard return. We say hello to Chris Cotter in the studio. All righty, thank you, Chris. A.J. Dillon gets the call on first down. And watch for that play from Boston College today. They want to get Dillon to the edge for one reason. They want to see if the other team's cornerbacks can tackle him.
Yeah, and that'll be a tough task for sure. And for Boston College, keep feeding that animal. And if you're Purdue, limit the explosive plays, particularly in the play-action pass game.
Dillon tripped up by Derek Barnes, who had a career-high 13 tackles last week.
And that is not easy to do. You know, Dillon is a thickly built individual, lower base, power base, which allows him to run through those types of tackles. Just a great effort there, wrapping up from Derek Barnes, forcing them in a third and medium situation.
This may be four-down territory for BC. Brown, plenty of time. Threads the needle and completes to Kobe White for a first down. Now, part of the problem defensively for Purdue, we saw it there, no pass rush.
Yeah, but this is also the reason why Anthony Brown has taken the next level with his passing ability. He stands tall in the pocket, and this is a very small passing window in each. They only had a four-man rush, but watch where he puts this thing in between two defenders for the first down.
On the jet sweep, it's Jeff Smith. Speedy wide receiver who was a former quarterback, and he picks up 6. Smith had a big game last week against Wake Forest. 6 catches, 145 yards, a couple of TDs. Dillon now on second down. Muscles his way for a first down. 6 foot, 245 pounds, and a cold fusion of finesse and force.
Yes, he is. I like the description there, and couldn't be more accurate.
On play action, Korab Idrizi dropped in the backfield, a loss of a yard by Marcus Bailey, the best player on this Purdue defense.
Great recognition. He really squeezed down that space there and got up on that tight end rather quickly, which led to a tackle for loss, and that's extremely hard coming from that depth of the field to make that play.
Dillon, no gain. And so far, Purdue has done a pretty good job on A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, Nick Holt said, we've got one job on Saturday, and that'll be to stuff the run. Now, that's a harder task than asked, but when you play with this type of gap integrity, and now look, they have jammed numbers in the box. That particular time there, you had 8 guys in the box. They know that A.J. Dillon is the greatest weapon on this team, and now you put the ball back into the hands of your redshirt sophomore quarterback, looking for him to complete and connect on a consecutive third down.
Brown to Levy. Touchdown, Boston College, but a flag at the end of the play. 2 flags, one at the 5 and one at the 15.
I think I see 3 flags
3
out
flags
there.
now.
Oh, my goodness.
Laundry day.
Yeah, definitely. don't know what the call is here, but great call there from the offensive coordinator. And if this does go against Boston College, this will. 75 White there, definitely blocking the back.
That's Chris Lindstrom, terrific right guard.
There's multiple
who's going to play on Sundays.
fouls on the offense. Pass interference. Offense number 85 is being waved off. Holding. Offense number 75. That foul will be enforced from the spot of the infraction. Third down.
Man, that hurts. And if you're Purdue, you've gotten a lucky break. I mean, you go back and you look at the success that Boston College has also had in the red zone. They are perfect from the red zone this season. 8 touchdowns on 8 possessions. They almost made it 9 there. And now you've got to go back to the drawing board if you're Boston College. If you're Scott Loeffler for this team, you've already exerted one of your better play calls with the screen. Now you've got to come back here, and I think you've got to try to put the ball in the hands of Anthony Brown, maybe look for something over the middle of the field and really put some pressure on these inexperienced safeties and secondary players for the Boilermakers.
Travis Levy remains in the game at running back as A.J. Dillon is on the sideline.
There was no offensive pass interference because the ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. Therefore, we only went with the offensive hold on number 75.
Brom appears to be looking for the for the interference call.
Jerry McGinn, the referee today. On third down, Brown to the air. End zone, touchdown, Tommy Sweeney, the tight end.
Yeah, it seemed obvious to me, and I think when you study the Boilermakers on film, they are looking for answers at the safety position. And you heard me right before this play, look for something in the middle of the field, get Anthony Brown involved. This is where this kid's game has really taken off. His accuracy, his ability to look off safeties, find those windows.
And looking to bounce back last week, a little rough. Huskers losing to Troy. Blau on first down, finds his tight end, Bryson Hopkins. They've got 2 good-looking tight ends in Herdman and Hopkins.
Yeah, and that time there, he got that in right over the head of Max Richardson.
College football all season long on ESPN+. Start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app. Markel Jones into the game at running back for the first time today. Jones ranks in the top 10 in Purdue history and career rushing yards. And he gets the call. Team's leading rusher in each of the last 3 seasons, only a yard. Carafa on the stop.
And Carafa is off to a good start today. He's really been jamming up that middle from that tackle spot, plays that 3 technique, and Markel Jones will have to watch out for him today.
Carafa, a converted D-end, had to really bulk up to play on the interior of the line. Pressure coming from Allen, and down goes Blau. Allen got in there first. Ray finished him off, and it's 3rd and long. And those are 2 twin towers that they're scary right now.
They are playing at a very high level, and the move here, you saw the power, just completely moves Matt McCann out of the way, presses him upfield, that right arm comes through.
Ray had 4 sacks last week against Wake. That set a new school record. Allen last year, 100 tackles as a D-end. On 3rd and long, Blau steps up. On the run, throws downfield. It's caught by Hopkins for a first down. How about Bryson Hopkins picking up where he left off? There is a flag back at the 27.
Holding. Offense. Number 53. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, that's a backbreaker. Kirk Barron, the center.
Oh, I mean, after David Blau had an amazing play, and you'll see it here in the middle of your screen. And I don't blame him, because Tanner Carafa has been all over the field today, and Kirk Barron just negated a phenomenal play by David Blau as he avoided pressure, stepped up into the pocket, moved to his right, and had the audacity to throw into tight coverage for the completion. And now they're forced with a 3rd and long situation. If I'm Boston College, they've already backed up all of their men. You keep everything in front of you, come up and make a play.
Purdue needs its own 45. They'll try a screen. Here is Rondell Moore. Little jitterbug, but he's finally taken down at the 28-yard line. Only a gain of 6, and Purdue will have to punt. Rondell Moore in his collegiate debut in front of a national audience on a Thursday night against Northwestern set the single game Purdue record for all-purpose yards. Welcome to college.
Yeah, he's special. He's got it, and and he's a type of game changer and game breaker you like to have on your team with the ball in his hands.
Only a freshman. Crown jewel of Purdue's recruiting class is Joe Schopper will punt it away. Michael Walker muffed a punt in the last game. Fields this one cleanly. Had a 58-yard kick return earlier in this quarter, and a nice punt return to get BC close to its own 40. Down to Mark.
Thanks, Anish. Anthony Brown led the Boston College team on that touchdown drive moments ago. Last November 11th, his season ended when he suffered a knee injury against NC State. Months of rehab followed, and in late July, Brown got some words of encouragement from an unlikely source, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, who visited the team's training facility. And Brown told me that Brady, who remember came back from his own knee injury back in 2008, said that Brown should attack rehab and do so much work that there isn't one bit of hesitation when he returns. Brown told me it was pretty cool to meet Brady. He described him as a regular guy. He probably was a little starstruck, though. The first person he called after meeting Brady, his mom.
Yeah, that's the GOAT.
Indeed it is.
A.J. Dillon on first down. Gain of a couple. Anthony Brown was really honest with us last night when he had that injury against NC State. He thought his career was over. He said, I had never had a major injury or even a minor injury at any point playing football.
And he's now using it as motivation. And he said, I value every snap and every minute on the football field because of it.
He's been more of a pocket passer this year, but a darn good one. Here is Dillon looking to bounce to the outside and canceled in the backfield by Jacob Thieneman, the former walk-on turned captain who earned a lot of rave reviews from this coaching staff.
Yeah, but that all started with the edge, the cornerback doing an excellent job on the outside edge. Kaysen setting the edge, forcing that ball back inside. And we talked about that earlier. You said it. They want to get him out on the outside edge. But if those cornerbacks can tackle like that, Anish, the Boilermakers will have a shot at staying in this ball game and potentially winning.
Third down. Let's see if Purdue can get pressure on Anthony Brown. Brown under pressure. And Bailey brings him down. At the Boston College will punt it away to begin the second quarter. Rondell Moore near the sideline. He'll step out of bounds at the 30-yard line. First quarter observations, Ahmad, we were talking in the break. Purdue's defense looks a lot better.
They do. And one of the concerns headed in for the defensive coordinator, Nick Holt, was the tackling and the missed assignments. Last week versus Wake, poor communication in the back end. They let a guy run wide open and free, and they weren't able to tackle in space when they needed it. And so this week, it's been completely different. Not only are they tackling one of the best running backs in the nation in the open field with effectiveness, and they're really getting after it. I mean, they set the tone with the first 3 and out when Boston College came out, and they've continued to play well.
A flag is down.
There's no foul for a delay of game. First down.
Are you allowed to flag an official?
Oh, boy.
It happens.
It does. I'm glad they got it right.
And now another whistle. Yeah, Kirk Barron, the center, throwing his hands up. What's going on? Oh, they love these little Yalta conferences, huh? And Jeff Brom, head coach for Purdue.
Game clock is correct.
So no delay of game. The game clock is correct, and maybe we get a ball snapped on this play. There we go. David Blau to the air. Underneath, Rondell Moore bounces off the tackler, and there he goes. Moore will take it all the way. You are watching a burgeoning star in college football in Rondell Moore.
This was big time. And one of the things when the coaching staff describes his talent, and let's just watch and make sure his knee is not down here. No, he kept it up. But the ability to be able to take the hit from Will Harris, and I'm assuming here,
they're going to look at that last play.
Yeah,
and I think they're going to see if the knee was down, but from that replay did not appear so. But this is what he's done. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to make a house call.
Well, what I love about his game, right, is you look at his stature and you may say at 5'9", 175, he's not a player with the type of strength to even make a play like that. You're talking about speed, quickness, agility, mobility, but he's also got strength, and the coaching staff alluded to that. They said he's a small guy, but he's powerful. And from day one when he stepped on campus, they said he has been the best playmaker for our team, hands down, and you're seeing exactly why.
Now right there. Ooh.
I don't know about that one. That is a
now is
close,
that is that indisputable? Is that indisputable, Ahmad? Boy.
Wow.
That's close. That is awfully close. Great job by our camera crew.
Indeed.
I think
the grass is coming up from the cleat, though. I don't see it from the knee. Oh, my goodness.
You mentioned his strength. He squats 600 pounds.
Jeez.
He's 5'9", 175. I don't know if there's enough.
The ruin on the field stands. Touchdown.
That's one of those plays. If you blow the whistle, you can't review it because
Indeed.
the play is dead.
Yeah.
So you let it run out, and he scores, and I'm just not sure there was enough there to overturn that call.
I agree with you, Anish, and let's face it, the highlight from that young man, that play may be on SportsCenter, and you saw the backside trying to take an angle to the pylon. He completely destroyed that with his top-end speed. Rondell Moore is a superstar in the making.
PAT hits the upright, no good. And Purdue has... Now we saw that with Boston College. Wake pushed BC last Thursday. Deeks have a pretty good true freshman quarterback in Sam Hartman. A.J. Dillon, the sophomore from New London, Connecticut, out of bounds. Pushed out by Marcus Bailey. Dillon, the ACC preseason player of the year. Steve Adazio told us yesterday he got a call last week from Earl Campbell, the Tyler Rose, who wanted to tell Adazio that he watches Dillon and the great Earl Campbell sees himself.
Oh, that power, though. This young man has the might of 10 men.
Anthony Brown thrown to the ground. The safety blitz, it's Thieneman. And boy, this Purdue defense looks completely different than it did a week ago.
I mean, they are ferocious. They're attacking the football. And Thieneman coming off of the left side. You'll see him here on the left of your screen. Watch him here. He just squeezes there, goes unblocked. Brown tried to squeeze back up in the pocket, but a great job there of finishing the play. The captain, the former walk-on, making a play.
Three-man rush. Brown underneath, incomplete, intended for White, and it's 4th down. A.J. Dillon so far, only 17 yards on 9 carries, and a big weapon for BC has been the play-action pass. When you're behind the chains, it's hard to sell play action.
100%. And give credit here to the Boilermakers. They've really come out here today. And Boston College has an experienced offensive line, an awesome running back, a developing quarterback, and they have taken them out of the ball game with the way they've played.
Rondell Moore will get another chance here. This one bounces, so maybe he won't get a chance. It's picked up by BC at the 36-yard line, a 31-yard punt. No return. Blau off play action, steps up. Under pressure. And out of the pocket, able to throw it away. The safety, Will Harris, getting to Blau, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he was out of the pocket, but that was an excellent play for Blau. You're able to avoid the pressure, and he could have taken this sack, but he kept this play alive with his feet. So they go with the play-action fake there, seeing Zach Allen right to his face, just buying time. That's a great job from Blau. And this offense, first quarter had 78 total yards. Their last play, the touchdown for Moore, 70 yards.
Flea flaker. Purdue going into its bag of tricks. Bryson Hopkins gobbled up for a loss. Flag is down. That's a big part of this Purdue offense, the gadget plays. This is going back.
Yeah, it looked like Shane Evans.
Eagle block in the back. Offense, number 75. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Penalty was on Shane Evans. It's declined. Evans came back from offseason shoulder surgery to start last week, and now Purdue was able to move around its offensive line a little bit. Dennis Edwards at right guard. Matt McCann getting to start at right tackle for the 2nd straight week. 3rd and 13. Blau over the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Harris. Flag is down, and Harris is driven out of bounds near the 20. That might have been a free play. Zach Allen appeared to have jumped.
Offside. Defense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Oh, man. That's one of those ones. And, you know, in Zach Allen, he is going to make a lot of money at the next level. One of the top NFL prospects trying to get a jump on this football. And you'll see him here at the top of your screen, number 2. Just right there. And negated a big-time play as Will Harris did an excellent job of reading Blau in the middle of the field. And now it's still in the 3rd and long situation where Blau will have to come back here now and try to make up for what would have been an interception.
3rd and more manageable. Allen trying to get a hand on Blau, who slides, and he's going to be short of the 1st down. And a flag at the end of the play, and this is going to be against BC. Might get a late hit here on Harris.
Yeah, and as Blau went down, Harris caught in no man's land.
Answer the play. Personal foul. Defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty be added on the end of the run. Automatic. 1st down.
2 penalties in a row. You start with the Zach Allen offsides penalty, and you come back. The gentleman who had the pick, Will Harris, hitting the quarterback here. And, you know, that's a tough call to make, in my opinion. I think because it's hard to stop. And, you know, those are split-second decisions, but I think the officials got the call right. And if you're Will Harris, he wasn't close to the 1st down. You'll want that one back.
Blau, this screen pass. Isaac Zico able to move the chains for a 1st down. Chris in the studio. Irish unbeaten, but they've had some struggles in the early season. Vandy gave them a tough test. So did Ball State. DJ Knox tumbles down after a 3-yard gain. Second down. You saw Purdue changing up the play there. And a lot of times what Purdue will do, there's a little gamesmanship going on. They're hoping the defense reacts, and they can then pick up some defensive signals for the second half.
Yeah, it's brilliant, you know, and I'm sure more teams will go to that if they haven't already done it. It's just a great way when you do those check with me plays to glance to the Boston College sideline and see if you can get a beat on their calls.
Wow, floats one for Moore. A lot of contact. Moore got tangled up with Torres. No flag. A good no call. It's third down.
Yeah, Torres there wanted the pass interference on the wide receiver as he was tripped up, but it was excellent coverage. And Blau trying to find the back of the end zone here, and you'll see the end of the play here. Excellent coverage from Torres. He's over the top of Moore.
You're going to side with the DB every time.
Perhaps. I am a former DB. You know, you can't touch the wide receiver, but they can trip you.
Right. It's a metaphor for playing defense in 2018. Play clock winding down. Jeff Brom calls a timeout. Makes some plays with his arm and others extending plays with his feet. Here's the blitz. Blau nowhere to go. Driven back. Strahan and Allen in the backfield. Fourth down. And that drives Purdue out of field goal range.
Wow, I tell you what, Strahan, this is why this young man will get a shot to play at the next level. Beautifully timed blitz. And the defense ate up blockers, and Purdue, before that, was 3 or 4 today on third down. The only one they had missed was third and long. And coming into this game, right, they are 20% on 5 yards or more, but under 5 yards, they are 88%. That's where they struggle. The defense for coordinator Jim Reed knew that. He decided to heat up the pocket, and it worked. Perfectly executed.
Fair catch made by Walker inside his own 10-yard line. Extra Yard for Teachers Week is a week-long celebration of teachers led by the College Football Playoff Foundation through its Extra Yard for Teachers platform. Visit the College Football Playoff Foundation website at www.cfp-foundation.org to learn more about Extra Yard for Teachers Week and see how you can get involved. There is one teacher in the stands who has had an incredible impact on Boston College's A.J. Dillon. Mark Morgan is standing by with her.
Anish, thanks very much. I am with Jessica Campbell. Jessica, good to see you. You're a teacher, lifelong teacher, right? AJ has spoken effusively of you to us over the last few days about what you have meant to him, how you had multiple jobs, getting up at 6 a.m., making sure he did the right thing, did his homework. How does it make you feel when you hear the way your son essentially says, I am where I am today because of my mom?
Oh, it's so humbling. It's nice to know when you raise a good boy. That's what you hope. You know, the football is great, but when you're inherently a good person, that's what you strive to do. I'm very lucky. We have a wonderful, wonderful team in New London, Connecticut. And I'll stand up. We're at Nathan Hale Arts Magnet, and we're very, very happy. I know everybody at home is watching.
and your father is Tom Gatewood, former Notre Dame All-American. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. So you knew something about football when AJ was growing up to kind of help him. I heard you did wind sprints at 5 a.m.?
Yes, we did. I learned a little bit. You know, when your kid is so passionate about something, I think you find out about it. And I'm raised in football, so it was a natural thing to do. If he was getting up, I was going too.
He has spoken so much about what you have done for him. What has he done for you?
Oh, he's done so much. He's made me very proud. He's worked very hard. His work ethic is something that I am most passionate and proud of. And I think he inspires others. And it's not been an easy journey, and it's not going to be. It's going to be a constant climb and fight. But like he says, every inch and every yard matters. So hope he accepts that mentality and uses that through life. So,
Jessica, thanks so much. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Go Eagles.
We spent a lot of time with A.J. Dillon and Anthony Brown last night, and when Dillon started talking about his mom, Jessica, he could not stop. The amount of pride, respect, love, and appreciation he has for his mother is just incredible. And there's a story that's been out there for a while is Moore makes the catch on the punt and then wiggles his way to the 34-yard line. Good field position for Purdue. There's a story that's been out there about AJ when he was little. He wrote a 5-page letter to his mom asking to go to boarding school so he could compete against the best academically and athletically. And he ended up making a couple of promises to himself. He said, one, I told my mom, you're not going to pay for college. He's come through on that one with the scholarship to Boston College. The second one, I'm going to go to the NFL and I'm going to buy you a house. And oh, by the way, that's going to happen. .8:38 to go here in the second quarter. Blau hands off to Markel Jones. He got a yard. Tackled by Zach Allen. Markel Jones majoring in professional flight technology, studying to become a pilot.
That is awesome. And that defensive line doing a great job there containing Jones, as that was a team tackling effort. A lot of white jerseys around the football when it was handed off to him.
Moore in motion. Blau finds Sparks. And Jared Sparks took a couple of defenders with him for a few extra yards. It sets up a 3rd and short, and that's really been the difference between both offenses today. Purdue has had more manageable 3rd downs. BC has not.
You're right, and the way that they've been able to come out here and convert has been very impressive. Now, you know, you've got a 3rd and short situation, which opens up your playbook. You're able to hand the football off if you'd like, get in behind that big offensive line and those tight ends.
Jones has some running room, and Markel Jones thunders inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Purdue.
Excellent execution by the Boilermakers, and this play is actually designed to go left. As you see, the tight end pulling on that particular play, exactly what they were looking for. They got in behind him and did a fine job of picking up the yardage they needed for 1st down.
Blau to Rondell Moore. Slips away, and Rondell Moore finds pay dirt again.
Get used to seeing him find the end zone. Here's the ISO here from Rondell Moore. You see him there, number 4. This is what you call a rub route. Extremely hard to get up and to contact him when those wide receivers are crossing at that level of the field. But once again, you saw him on his 70-yard touchdown run previously in the game. Run through contact. This time, he runs through a tackle. Despite his small stature, this young man has heart and strength.
JD, couple of touchdowns by Rondell Moore, the electric freshman. And the Boilermakers with a 20-7 lead. Purdue came into this game winless. BC 3-0, ranked in the top 25. Miles Homan to kick it off. We have not seen Spencer Evans since he missed that PAT. Walker a little trouble on the handle and takes it out of bounds near the 25. A flag down at the end of the play.
Walker with return, pending marker now.
During the return, personal foul, face mask. On the kicking team, number 81, 15-yard penalty being forced from the end of the run, 1st down.
Penalties on Darius Pittman, so BC will get a little better field position as we check in with Chris. Meanwhile, Boston College having trouble moving forward in this first half. Only 46 total yards. A.J. Dillon with the reception, but a loss of a yard. Dillon has been held in check. And the deep passing game, which worked so well against Wake, has not been a factor today. Here's Dillon. Purdue's tackling has improved drastically. Marcus Bailey on the stop. And this has been the story for BC. 3rd and long. It seems every time they get the ball, it's 3 and out.
This is not the ideal situation, and we're talking about an offense that was averaging over 500 yards of offense each game, averaging over 40 points a game, struggling mightily here today.
A 4-man rush. Brown trying to get away from Barnes, but he can't. We had a feeling Purdue's offense was going to show up. I don't think we saw this kind of defensive performance coming against a BC team that had been so explosive through 3 games.
Yeah, because they hadn't put it on film yet. And today they showed up, and they've done everything right. I mean, you look at it, this is the 6th possession for Boston College. 5 of those have been 3 and outs. That is outstanding.
And that stresses the defense. Remember, BC last week was on the field for 105 plays against Wake. Moore had trouble with that punt, but able to hold on. A 39-yard kick, no return. Monday Night Football gets preceded by NFL Sunday on ESPN. Comes your way at 10 a.m. Eastern. The story of Patrick Mahomes' journey from White House, Texas to the NFL. He is arguably the co-MVP of the league right now with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Plus, Randy Moss ranks this week's best catches from college football in You Got Mossed. Yeah, now, I know Rondell Moore, that wasn't a catch. It was a run after a catch, but can we insert that as a nominee?
I'm going to do it.
DJ Knox gets away from Allen and then upended shortly after by Tajamir Torres.
Yeah, and if you're Boston College defense right now, you've got to take the challenge. Your offense is sputtering. They're not doing what they've been doing previously this season. Come back, get a takeaway, get a 3 and out, something to charge up your sideline and get the momentum back to your ball club.
Blau underneath. Isaac Zico driven out of bounds, but a nice pickup. He's going to be close to the first down. It'll be 3rd and short. Ahmad, you played a defensive back at Texas. What's the challenge defensively against an offense that gives you as much window dressing as Purdue?
Well, you've got to stay locked in. And oftentimes, and Jim Reed said it, you know, we're going to lock them up in man-to-man situations on the edges just so you don't have to be concerned with all that window dressing. But it can be very confusing, and you've got to make plays against them.
Knox looking for running room, picks up a first down, and then tumbles to the 45, and Purdue able to move the chains. They've been solid on 3rd down today. 5 for 7 now.
That was a slippery move from Knox, and we've seen it a few times today. Him cut on a dime and get into a tight space, and that time there, the patience, the power to get through. Another first down for the Boilermakers.
There's the pressure from the edge. Terry Wright makes the catch, gobbled up immediately by Hamp Cheevers. Again, Chris. All righty. Thank you, Chris. 2.5 to play. Purdue looking to tack on to a 2-score lead, 20-7. It's been all Boilermakers in the first half. Blau downfield, nearly intercepted by the outstanding safety Lucas Dennis, who's got 9 career picks.
Oh, and that was the one. That was the one that this Boston College team needed to really flip field position, give them a short field to go in and drive. Great anticipation. No doubt that Dennis, the young man from Everett, Massachusetts, is an NFL prospect. You see there the timing, just cut off that route completely. And now the Boilermakers forced in a third down situation as this is another opportunity for them to convert, and they've been very successful today. I would expect some type of pressure from Reed.
It comes from up the middle. Blau running for his life. On his feet, and finally sandwiched and taken down. Isaiah McDuffie with the sack. 4 sacks for Boston College, and the Eagles will get it back with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they come with a 5-man pressure here and bring it right up the middle, as the emphasis oftentimes when playing Boston College is going to be on the outside edge with Ray and Allen coming off of the edge. And there, the Eagles able to get home base, now forcing a punt. The question is, what will this Boston College offense do with the football?
Purdue letting the clock run down. Now Shopper to punt it away to Walker. Fair catch signal. It's made at the 20. About a minute and a half left. 3 timeouts for Boston College. As Chris reminded you, we'll remind you again, Saturday night football, Stanford and Oregon out in Eugene. Bryce Love expected back for the Cardinal. One of the preseason Heisman favorites. He's been slowed by injury to begin this season. This is a Boston College offense that has thrived on big plays this season. Of their 21 offensive touchdowns entering play, 13 were on plays of 20 yards or more. Will go to the air on first down. Brown off the hands of Kobe White, 2nd and 10.
Anish, and I thought watching film of this Boilermaker defense, they'd really struggled in the back end. The coverage has been tight, it's been timely, and they've done an excellent job of making sure that they are containing Boston College.
They made a couple of changes. Kenneth Major getting the start for the 5th-year senior Tim Kaysen at corner today. That pass is tipped and intercepted. Kai Higgins, the big D lineman. That's his 2nd pick of the year.
What a play. And Anthony Brown, the 2nd batted down pass of the day. And this one just perfect timing as Higgins, you mentioned it, in the way there, in the right place at the right time with the interception. Wow, the Boilermakers really pouring it on right now with a short field inside of the 10, looking to increase their lead.
From the 6 of BC. Markel Jones, little stutter step. Trying to cut it back, nowhere to go. Pulled down by Ray Smith. Senior from Carlsbad, California, big run stopper, 2nd down and goal. Purdue has 2 timeouts. If Purdue gets 6 here, what a turn of events going into halftime.
Absolutely, and then you start to get concerned about the fatigue of this Boston College defense. At this point, Purdue has almost had the ball twice as long as the Eagles, and it's hard to play defense when you're conditioned great or when you are fresh. It's a whole nother ball game when you've got to play defense and you're fatigued.
Jones ran into a roadblock. 3rd and goal. 25 seconds to go. Purdue still has those 2 timeouts. Clock continues to run, and now a timeout by Jeff Brom. There is a different vibe around this Purdue football program. We were here a couple of years ago, and Darrell Hazel was on the hot seat, and that tenure clearly just didn't work out. They couldn't get it going. When they build momentum, it was stunted. Even the 0-3 start this year, they're young on defense. They lost 9 of their top 12 tacklers from a season ago.
Yeah.
And I know they went to a bowl game. They finished strong, but rotating out quarterbacks, an 0-3 start, losing all those 3 games at home. In years past, you would have felt like the sky is falling. It just doesn't feel that way around this program.
It does not, and I think you're absolutely right, and that optimism starts with Jeff Brom. Speaking to him yesterday, his candor, his transparency, I mean, he was very blunt and frank about the state of this program, the talent level of this program, and also the disappointment they feel in those close losses. And I think when you look at that, if I'm a player and I'm listening to this man speak to me directly and truthfully like that, I have no other reason or thing to do except respect him. And, not to mention the beautiful facilities they have now. I think the players feel more comfortable in this situation, and they're proving that, as you said, with being close in ball games.
On 3rd down, Blau floats one for the end zone. Incomplete. Hopkins could not hold on. Nice job there by Todd Jameer Torres to jar that ball loose. That almost was 6.
Well, this defense, and Blau, once again, showing his athleticism, and the ball just slightly thrown behind him. What a last-second effort there from Torres to jar that ball loose. Or the Boilermakers would have gone up big into halftime.
So now a field goal attempt by Dellinger. Spencer Evans, the starting kicker, missed a PAT. We have not seen him since. Chip shot field goal is good. Purdue will get the ball to start the second half, and the Boilermakers have had to do a lot of coming from behind in the early season. They're now playing with a 16-point lead. It's 23-7.
The worst part about that is you're behind. The best part of that is they've been able to come back and win ball games. Purdue has held Boston College to only 37 total yards. They have been suffocating, and the story of the first half for me, Anish, has been the way this team has played. They've contained A.J. Dillon. He's averaging less than 2 yards a pop. You look at Anthony Brown's numbers. He's 6 of 11, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now, those are meager numbers compared to what this offense was able to manufacture headed into this game.
Boston College last Thursday against Wake Forest. 6 touchdowns, all of 27 yards or more. 525 yards of total offense. No plays of more than 20 yards for BC. They've been behind the chains, this Purdue defense, night and day from last week against Missouri. Miles Homan to kick it away. Squibber. Walker fields the ground ball. And that will take us to halftime. They've got a lot to cheer about. 23-7, Purdue looking for its first win of the season. First 3 games that Purdue lost by a combined 8 points. Lost on a last-second field goal the past 2 weeks. BC came in 3-0. A road win last Thursday against Wake Forest. This Boston College team cracking the top 25 for the first time in a decade. Talk of BC maybe being the second best team in the ACC. They didn't look like it in the first 30 minutes. Rondell Moore from his own goal line. 2 touchdowns in the first half, and he's subdued at the 10. Mark Morgan caught up with Steve Adazio a few moments ago.
Coach, what concerns you the most right now, your offense or your defense?
I mean, on both sides of the ball, we've done some of the dumbest things I've seen us do ever. We've turned the ball over on offense and made some poor decisions. And on defense, we've let up some big plays. We gave away a nice interception down to the 10 with an offsides. We just got to go out and that's uncharacteristic football for us. We got to come back out here in the second half, take care of the ball, make plays, make good decisions, and we'll get ourselves right back in the second.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
On first down, DJ Knox for a gain of 3. And now Steve Addazio's right. What we saw in the first half, totally uncharacteristic of Boston College football.
I hadn't seen it on film all year. And, you know, and Steve Addazio is very forward. And I'm sure he gave his players an earful at halftime.
Rondell Moore in the backfield, and now motions. Blau looking to Moore. He's got him. Moore in space. So slippery and elusive, and he picks up 2. 4 catches for Rondell Moore. Actually making 5 catches. He's got 95 yards receiving.
He's been sensational.
I robbed him of another catch. He's got 6. Third down now. BC rushes 3. That's enough to get the pressure. Allen trips up Blau, running for the first down. And this is going to be close, but he appears to have the first down. They got pressure that time with both Allen and Ray, but we've seen Blau extend plays with his feet all day.
This was a beauty. Watch his pocket movement here. I mean, this is just outstanding. He feels the pressure on the backside from Ray, who leads the nation in sacks, the spin move, but then the ability to get to the marker and get the first down. That was outstanding.
DJ Knox. Tornadoes upfield for a couple. Knox 5'7", 210, fifth-year senior. Benches more than 400 pounds. Five receiver look. Blau gets rid of it quickly. And there is Moore once more. A gain of 6, third down. Marcus Valdez and Davon Jones come in for Boston College here on third down and 4.
And this is where the Boilermakers have been awesome. 6 of 10, 60% on third down. And they've done it in a myriad of ways. You saw Blau extend the play with his feet there. They've done it across the middle of the field on the outside edge. They've done it with the run. What will they do this particular time?
Play clock at 1. Blau looking for Isaac Zico. And the senior from Atlanta. This is going to be close. I think he's got it. He does. Looked like they were moving the chains. Now they'll say fourth down. And the offense still out on the field. It is a first down. There you go. Now first the sideline chain had a 4 up. Now they've got it to a 1. So first and 10. Purdue again moves the chains. Boilermakers going slow here to begin this third quarter. They've already used up 4 minutes of clock. Knox brought down by the ankles, and there is Allen. He's got a chance to be a first-round pick. Mel Kiper had him as the number 2 senior defensive end coming into the season. And the numbers last year speak in the imperative. 100 tackles as a D end.
Well, I tell you what, when you watch him on film, he's got a myriad of ways, too, he can beat tackles. This guy's ferocious, and I think when you start to project guys that'll make a name for themselves as the year goes on, he's one of them for sure.
Blau going downfield. Man coverage. Zico's got it. The ball comes out. Boston College football, a catch and a fumble.
look at this. What a beauty first and foremost from Blau. One-on-one coverage as they bring the safety blitz. He's in good position. That is a cause fumble. Brandon Sebastian not giving up on the play after getting beat deep. Beautifully thrown ball, but watch the effort there. That right hand coming right up to punch that football out. The awareness there from Will Harris to recover it. And that is the first break of the ball game for Boston College. Now, you give it back to this offense that has struggled. If you're Anthony Brown and A.J. Dillon, now is your time to step up and shine.
Zico getting an earful from Jeff Brom. Will Harris led the nation with 4 fumble recoveries last year. He covered it up for BC. Anthony Brown to the air. Pressure. Ball batted down. And it falls harmlessly incomplete. That's Jacob Thieneman, the safety. He's been making all sorts of noise for that Purdue defense.
Yeah, but that's the 3rd batted down pass of the day for the Boilermakers. And if you're Anthony Brown, now you've got to change your arm slot. They clearly are trying to bring the blitz there. You've got to figure out a way to throw the ball around the Boilermaker defenders.
The give is to Dillon. He's got the edge, and he powers close to the 30-yard line. They'll be close to a first down. 3rd down coming up for BC.
Yeah, go back to him. And I don't care if everybody in the stadium knows that this ball is going to A.J. Dillon. You find a way behind this experienced offensive line to punch it through and make a statement to the Boilermakers here and now. We will not be the same team we were in the first half.
Dillon. Denied. Now, we thought if this was a game fought in the trenches, it would be a big advantage for Boston College. You mentioned that offensive line. 5 returning starters, only Wisconsin with more experience up front. But this young Purdue defense has answered the call.
And they're going for it. But give credit there to the linebackers, Barnes and Jones, who have been very active today. That time there, attacking the football.
Do you like this call here? If it is a true call, and it is. Dillon up the middle. And the second effort gets A.J. Dillon a first down.
I tell you what I really like is the guts from Steve Adazio there to go for that. Because listen, the way that your offense struggled in the first half, you've got to build their confidence. By going for it on 4th down, you tell your players, listen, we trust you. We believe in you. We know that this is the right call to make. A.J. Dillon punching it in. That may be the momentum that the Eagles need to get this thing rolling.
I mean, listen, that call takes some guts. Here's Jeff Smith on the fly, sweep. Smith looking for the edge, not much room. No gain. You don't get it there. Purdue's got the ball 10 yards from the red zone.
Yeah, they've already owned you.
That's a call. If you don't get that, that could be the ball game.
Indeed.
Play action. Downfield, nearly intercepted twice. Marcus Bailey almost had it the first time. Kenneth Major almost had it off the deflection.
After bragging and watching film all week on Anthony Brown, he's been accurate. He just flat out missed his target here. 85 was running free. He missed him. He had an opportunity to get an easy conversion and went to the wrong man in double coverage. Now they've got to go back to a 3rd and long situation and put the ball back in Brown's hands.
4-man twist from Purdue. Screen pass to Dillon. Dillon stumbles and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down.
Jones, he's all over the field. I mean, this guy right now has been rugged, battling with Dillon in the middle of that field.
Now Boston College will punt. Now Cornell Jones, sophomore from Miami, the coaches said he needs to play with his motor all the time. Came into this game leading the Big Ten in TFLs, and he's replacing a good one in the heart of that Purdue defense in Juwan Bentley. Flag is down. Fair catch called for by Moore at the 35. On second down, Blau. Pass is tipped. Oh, that was dangerous, but it falls harmlessly to the ground. Zach Allen got it in the air, and it's third down.
And Zico might have made the play of the game. He bats this ball away. Watch Zach Allen here. You see the athleticism, the awareness, all on display. He almost comes up with an interception.
That was dangerous, though, by Isaac Zico. You bat that in the air. Who knows who gets it? Blau is hit, throwing downfield, wide open. It's the tight end. That's Bryson Hopkins for a gain of 19. Hopkins building off the best game of his career. His third catch of the afternoon.
Blau stood tall like a 7 feet tall giant. The pocket was collapsing at 6'1", 205 from Carrollton, Texas. He took the hit and put the ball on the money. And Blau continues. 18 of 24 on the day, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's playing like a man.
Blau pumps. Going downfield. Caught. Touchdown. Terry Wright.
Teamwork. Great teamwork.
Let's see if BC gets something on special teams from Walker. He's been dangerous in the return game today. Another big return for Walker, takes it out near the 40. And we remind you tonight, big one in the Pac-12, number 7 Stanford, number 20 Oregon in Eugene. Cardinal head coach David Shaw expecting his Heisman hopeful Bryce Love to return tonight for Stanford. You can watch on the ESPN app or on ABC.
Yeah, I think Bryce Love will make a difference tonight. And not from a standpoint alone of just being on the field, but his
Boston College at a 3-point deficit. Play out. Brown has tipped again. And is it intercepted? It is by Purdue. Kewan Jones tipped it. Anthony Watts picked it off. And that's now 2 interceptions by this Purdue defensive line.
And 4 batted down passes. And listen, I came into this ball game ranting and raving about Anthony Brown, who led the nation heading this game into quarterback rating. He came out, and today has been a completely different quarterback, partly because A.J. Dillon hasn't gotten going. He's averaging just over 2 yards a carry. But at this point, if you're Steve Addazio and you're standing on that sideline, you start to wonder, do I need to make a change? E.J. Perry is also there, who has looked good in his time when they've given him. So Anthony Brown today, I said it earlier, needs to change his arm slot, as Anthony Brown, man, is not having the game that he would expect to have.
DJ Knox on first down, broke 1 tackle and then goes lateral for about a yard. If you watched film on both of these teams for the first 3 weeks, and then you look at the scoreboard today, it's the equivalent of studying for a history test and showing up to math class.
Great analogy. I mean, the performances of both teams couldn't be more further than the truth from what you've seen from film, but give the Boilermakers credit. They have kept pressing despite losing 3 early games by less than 8 points, and now they are just completely pouring it on the Eagles with defense and offensive efficiency.
They're content to milk some clock now, shorten the game a little bit as Knox takes it inside the 35
Knox
as we check in with Chris. All right, Chris. Here it's 30-7. Purdue looking for its first win against a ranked opponent since beating Illinois in October of 2011. Blau will run. Ray may have jumped. Blau out of bounds at the 20. He's got a first down. Couple of flags down.
we have fouls on the play by both teams. Offside. Defense, number 11. Holding. Offense, number 12. Those fouls offset, replay third down.
Now that's a break for BC because that was a free play that was negated by the hold call.
And it was another great decision by David Blau, and he's been on fire right now. The mentality of this young man changed last week, and now you see he's continued to stay hot and to keep that momentum. And if he can come back here and convert on this third down, this may be a better performance than last week considering the opponent.
5-man rush. Blau gets away. Hit from behind, and a diving interception by Zach Allen. Tajamir Torres delivered the hit to Blau, and Allen yet to crack 50 yards of total offense. Purdue came into the game giving up 475 per game. BC came into the game averaging almost 580 yards of total offense per game. But the Eagles have it back after the turnover. A.J. Dillon on first down. He's looking to get on track. There's Marcus Bailey. We've called his name a lot. Purdue's best defensive player with the stop.
Yeah, he's made some key plays, and especially with considering A.J. Dillon being on the opposite side. And that was a nice first down run. Maybe Dillon can get something going here and bail his team out.
Dillon bullies his way for a first down, close to midfield. Dillon just has not been able to get on track. Play action. C.J. Lewis into Purdue territory. And to the 44-yard line of the Boilermakers, a gain of 6.
And that last play, A.J. Dillon leaves and had to bring in the backup. Once again, though, good first down yardage for the Eagles offense.
Brown steps up, completes downfield, going right back to Lewis inside the 30. And this is the best we've seen Anthony Brown all afternoon.
That was a good ball. It's in good rhythm. Stayed tall in the pocket there and connected there with Lewis. They'll need more of that if they're going to get back in this ball game.
2 tight ends into the game. Toss to Dillon. Got a huge block on that left side. Chris Garrison, number 81, created a chasm for A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, and then it was followed up by Aaron Montero coming in. Just watch this left side just cave in. Oh, my goodness. That is the type of blocking you see on film previously before this game.
Dillon inside the 15. You know, part of the problem offensively for BC, this is the first game this season where A.J. Dillon hasn't been A.J. Dillon. He's the first domino for that offense.
You're right. It allows them to get into their play-action game, and then you can pick your poison on the outside with one-on-one matchups.
Now play action, end zone, intercepted. Antonio Blackman, the former walk-on, with his second career pick. And that's the 3rd interception Brown has thrown today.
Yeah, this one's tough. This is a very difficult play because Tommy Sweeney does not fight for this ball here. 3rd team All-ACC last year. Watch him here. Just didn't give great effort there. And now the ball wasn't thrown great, but when your quarterback throws you up a ball in the end zone, and you're 6'5", 250 pounds, do not let a smaller guy fight you and win for the ball. Now, it was a great play. And you got to give the Boilermakers credit. They've continued to make plays defensively, but there, I'd have to say Sweeney has to fight a lot harder to bail his quarterback out.
Derek Barnes is the injured Boilermaker. Played well last week against Missouri with a career-high 13 tackles and able to get up and walk off on his own power. Ahmad, should Brown have thrown that ball into double coverage, though?
Well, I mean, you're going at your 6'5" tight end who's preseason all-conference, one of your best offensive threats. And in the red zone, you like to look for your tight ends. You like to look for your larger targets. I can't say it was the wrong decision. Could the ball have been thrown in a safer location? Absolutely. Blackman read it well, reacted well. And at the end of the day, the Boilermakers have been making more of those plays, and that's why they set with a very convincing lead at 23 points and just nipped maybe the best drive of the day for the Eagles as they were charging downfield, and it was once again stopped by an interception.
Instead, it's Purdue ball to 20. Markel Jones stiff arms his way to the 23 as we check in with Chris. Now, Maryland opened this season with that statement win against Texas. Matt Canada, the interim head coach there. It's 2 years in a row the Terps beat Texas. Wow. Rolls the pocket. Isaac Zico upended. Anish Roth alongside former Texas Longhorn Ahmad Brooks. Mark Morgan down on the sideline. Tom Herman's going to get it turned around, right?
I like what Tom's doing here, and you talk about Jeff Braun. That's another bright coach that has the right energy. It boils down to the players. And I think once a player feels that they can trust a coach, they're more willing to play harder for him, and that product results on the field in terms of wins and effort. And that's what you're seeing here today out of the Boilermakers. Hopefully, my Horns at some point can do the same thing.
It's 3rd down and 2. Blau will run. This is going to be close. I think he may have gotten a generous spot. Needed the 30. It'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I was one of those people who was convinced by what I was seeing. Because the defense had 11 sacks on the year and you've got 7 interceptions, but the most surprising thing was their offense and the way that they were able to score points, averaging 40 points a game. They've come out here today, and they've been non-existent. This has not been complimentary football. Even the fact that you come out here in the second half, your defense gets 2 turnovers, and you do nothing with it.
You heard them say the last play is under review. If you don't remember, that was a run where David Blau appeared to get close to the first down marker. It was ruled a first down, so they're going to check the spot. I'm sorry, was that the play, Isaac Zico? No, that was not the play. It was David Blau running, and it appeared again that he had the first down, got a good spot. It was ruled a first down, and they're just going to double check the spot to see if it is indeed a first down. Now, if it's 4th down, you ball at your own 30, 23-point lead, you kick it away, right, Ahmad?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you want to make them drive the length of the field, something they haven't been able to do all game long. And now you start to really worry about this Boston College defense, Anish. Time of possession at this point, 29 minutes for Purdue. Compare that to 15 minutes of possession time for Boston College. And here's that play that you were talking about.
Where's the ball when that knee goes down?
Another tough call to make for the officials.
And to further review, the runner was short to the line of gain. The ball will be placed at the 29.5-yard line, 4th down.
That's a big game changer here.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and you see Jeff Braun, he knows that he's sending out his punting unit, and I think this is the right decision to make. Put the ball back in the hands of Anthony Brown and this offense that has looked inept and inefficient today.
Steve Adazio last week, special teams struggled. Michael Walker has been strong in the kick return game. Can he give BC a boost in the punt return game? Former high school quarterback from Naples, Florida, retreats. Lets this one bounce, and it's downed inside the 20. Nice punt by Shopper. Back to Bristol and Chris.
begin at the round 15, first and 10, Boston College.
30-7 Purdue here. A.J. Dillon. He just has not had a ton of running room today. 19 carries now, 59 yards. Dillon came into this game averaging 144 yards per game. Brown looking for Kobe White, can't bring it in with one hand. It's another 3rd and long situation for Boston College. That's been the story for the offense this afternoon.
Yeah, and Anthony Brown does not look like the same player. He's missed a few targets today. This young man is going to be a star, I believe. But today has been one of those rough days for the sophomore.
Had the best game of his career last week. 300 yards, 5 TDs. Has time. There's a flag down. Lorenzo Neal with the pressure, and it's intercepted by Major. Kenneth Major made his first career start today. He's got a pick. Major finally taken down by Aaron Montero, the left tackle. Flag down back at the 9-yard line.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. Penalties decline. Rule on the field. There's an interception. 1st and 10.
Well,
Purdue.
Anthony Brown came into this game 9 TDs, no picks. He was completing almost 70% of his passes. 4 interceptions today, and he's 9 for 20 passing.
And those 4 interceptions have come on the last 5 possessions.
Yeah.
That's where you feel like you've stubbed your toe. And this will hopefully, if you're a Boston College fan, you hope this is a growing pain for Anthony Brown. But the Boilermakers have really put on the heat today.
DJ Knox taken down at the point of attack by Max Richardson. Now this game has a up is down, down is up kind of feeling, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. and that explains it, too. Seeing the frustration there on the phone from Anthony Brown, the disgust on his face with his performance and his offensive performance today.
You did bring up the point yesterday, though. You know, in years past when Purdue was losing, there wasn't a lot of hope in those losses. Their 3 losses this year were all winnable games, as Knox is taken down for a big loss. The Northwestern game, a silly penalty, cost Purdue from getting the ball back late in the game. Then you lose on a couple of last-second field goals. You had a touchdown overturned late against Missouri. Tonight in the Pac-12, Stanford, Oregon, at Autzen. We're expecting Bryce Love to be back for the Cardinal. 8 Eastern on ABC and also on the app. Here's Knox. That'll bring up 4th down. I think something to remember, too. You know, Purdue's not one of these programs like an Ohio State or a Wisconsin where, you know, even in down years, you're not that down. What Jeff Brom did last year, getting this team to a bowl game with Elijah Sindelar rising to the occasion when Blau got hurt late in the year, you know, that was magical. And that gave this team some hope, as it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down. But oftentimes, year 2 is harder. Progress isn't always linear.
Because you've got to get the players to buy in. And what I've seen today is this is a confident team. After some close losses, they have not lost their courage or their confidence.
Going for it here on 4th down. Moore makes the catch. Where do they spot him? That's going to move the chains. A 1st down catch for Rondell Moore. Up over 100 yards receiving.
And watch David Blau show off this arm. This is a very, very difficult throw to make. You know, he's on the opposite hash throwing an out route. That is NFL arm talent. And then Rondell Moore, I mean, what can you say about this kid? He plays like a veteran, and the coaching staff said it yesterday. They said he's been the best offensive playmaker we've had from day one coming in as a freshman.
Now there he is on the sweep. Every time he touches the ball, there's an air of anticipation.
Good things happen. And that's positive yardage. 4 yards on first down keeps you on schedule. And that was one of the plays that this defensive staff, Jim Reed told us, he says, we're concerned with that play because of Moore's playmaking abilities.
Moore came into this game averaging almost 15 yards per touch. Here's Knox. DJ Knox inside the 10, first and goal.
There's leads you to believe he injured it.
On first and goal, Knox. One area where Purdue has really cleaned it up today, penalties. They've only been flagged twice. That was something their coaching staff really stressed through the course of the last week. 9 penalties in the opener against Northwestern, 7 apiece in losses to Eastern Michigan and Missouri. Knox spins his way to the 5 where Connor Strahan brings him down. So third and goal for Purdue. They've got a 3-score lead. You figure you punch it in here, and that's the dagger.
Yeah, 8-play drive, 26 yards, 4 minutes on the clock, 33 minutes of possession for the Boilermakers this game. I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me. It's been total domination. And when you look at this game, statistically you see that, and the product we've seen on the field has also shown that.
Blau, quarterback draw. And he's taken down by Zach Allen, who was not out for long.
That's a great sign.
Fourth down.
And Blau, I've just been so impressed today with his decision making. This was a design quarterback draw, trying to catch the defense off guard, and was able to protect the football despite being hit by one of the more dominant players in college football. And Blau has been outstanding. 21 of 27, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he's made some key plays on drives.
21-yard kick by J.D. Dellinger is no good. Little chip shot, 3 scores. Need a 3 touchdowns and a pair of 2-point conversions mixed in. Anthony Brown, 4 interceptions, still in there, finds Jeff Smith to the sideline. And you're down by this amount, takes away the running threat and A.J. Dillon a little bit as we get a flag. And this one's coming back.
Ineligible receiver, downfield. Number 89 was covered up. 5-yard penalty.
It's been that type of day for them. You know, that's just not lining up right. You know, those are things that are inexcusable for a team that hasn't shown a lot of this. And I know Steve Addazio will certainly work hard with his team.
Back to the air. Kobe White makes the catch, and he's tackled after a gain of just 3. And we say, what's up to Chris Connor once more. And there's a big first down for Boston College. Jake Burt, one of 10 tight ends on Steve Addazio's roster. He told us, I got to get linemen and I got to get tight ends to build Boston College. Ben Glines to midfield. We come up on 7 minutes to play. Glines, a junior from Cincinnati, had a touchdown last week against Wake. Dropped by Smith. Talking to Scott Leffler, the offensive coordinator for BC, he had a lot of praise for Jeff Smith. Told Jeff Smith early in his career, you can play quarterback here, but if you want to see the field more, move to wide receiver. As Glines will move the chains.
And Scott's been in a chess match today with Nick Holt, who, if you ask me, he's had the better end of it. And we had a meeting with him yesterday, and his energy is contagious. We actually interrupted his workout. He came in sweating. And I asked him about his coaching style. I said, how would you describe it? And he said, yeah, I'm pretty crazy. He said, you know, I'm hard on my kids, but I love on them as well. And you know, those are the coaches in each that I loved playing for. Because here's the thing. You want a guy that has a vision for you and a goal for your game. And then once they do that, right, now they show me that they love me. He said, I'm the first one to congratulate my players when they do something good as well. I think that's the perfect balance. Nick Holt is making a difference defensively here as a defensive coordinator.
Last pass to C.J. Lewis. Holt's got credentials, USC, the University of Washington. As Tommy Sweeney takes it inside the 35. Another first down for BC. Sweeney had a touchdown catch in the first quarter, the only score for the Eagles today. Anthony Brown keeps it. Swims to the 30. AP Top 10 brought to you by PlayStation Alabama. Sitting at number 1, Georgia riding shotgun. Clemson will go first in double jeopardy. They're at Georgia Tech later today. Ohio State, Urban Meyer back. Buckeyes facing Tulane. Oklahoma, LSU, 2 huge wins in the early going. As Brown is sacked. That's Derek Barnes. Good to see him back into the game after he took a big hit earlier.
Yeah, he's been a difference maker this time here, chasing down Brown from the backside, not giving up on the play. And he, Jones, and Bailey, this particular game have been outstanding, whether it's containing A.J. Dillon or making plays like that on the quarterback. They've been fantastic.
Edge pressure from Barnes, picked up by Levy. Going downfield, it's dropped by Kobe White. He has to catch that football.
As they say in the South, when it rains, it pours. They just have not been able to get out of the way of themselves, even despite here the right play call, the right timing, wide open wide receiver. And Kobe White, he's a very talented young man. I mean, I would argue that he's probably the best wide receiver on their team, and just drops the football.
BC will go for it on 4th and 15. Against a 3-man rush. Brown, plenty of time. Overthrows Jeff Smith. Purdue will take over on downs, and the Boilermakers a little more than 4.5 minutes away from knocking off a ranked team for the first time. A lot of drama surrounding Antonio Brown this week as well. The trade me tweet, missing practice. Rondell Moore bottled up, 4th down. So Purdue will kick it back to BC. Eagles call a timeout. Sports Center tonight on ESPN after Arizona State and Washington with Stan and Neal. Herbie and Fowler will break down the Stanford-Oregon game, plus reaction from Urban Meyer. He's back after a 3-game suspension, plus top plays and moments from all of college football. I'm out of here, Steve Adazio. How did this take place? Was it maybe a team reading its clippings about being ranked and the comparisons to the Matt Ryan days. Was it maybe overlooking a Purdue team that was 0-3 and really hadn't played very well defensively in its first 3 games?
I think it's a combination of all those things, plus the fact that the Boilermakers played their best game of the season so far. They were clicking on all cylinders. As much as you would want to look at Boston College and say they just haven't performed today, the Boilermakers didn't show anything like what they showed today here on the football field in front of the home crowd.
For Boston College, they've got a chance to get back into the win column next weekend against Temple, as E.J. Perry will be the new quarterback for BC. Then you've got NC State on the road, Louisville, which certainly looks vulnerable without Lamar Jackson. Miami's a home game at Virginia Tech, and then Clemson. Boy, that closing slate, starting with Miami, Virginia Tech, Clemson, to go to Florida State, you'd expect the Seminoles to be better later in the year under Willie Taggart than they are right now. And I'll tell you what, Syracuse, it might surprise a few people this year, off to a 3-0 start. They're playing UConn today as Ben Glines rips off a nice run for BC.
Yeah, when I look at that schedule, I think
back heavy.
It is. So, what you've got to do is be able to work out these kinks now and be able to, you want to be playing the best ball of the season at the end of the year, and you really want to get your guys going. Today, Anthony Brown and A.J. Dillon, along with this offensive line, their 3 pillars have struggled, and they've got to figure out a way to get them going to where this doesn't happen, at least to where they can stay in ball games. And now, Boston College had been down in even some of their wins. The difference was they found a way to regain their confidence. They made adjustments at halftime. Today, that was not the case.
Anthony Brown struggled. A.J. Dillon just could not get going. And I think you got to credit Nick Holt, the Purdue defensive coordinator, this Purdue defense. You hold A.J. Dillon, who Steve Addazio thinks is the best running back in college football, to 59 yards on 19 carries. That's pretty good.
And they did it with team tackling. Their effort was great, and even when he got on the edges against smaller defenders, they tackled with courage out there as well. All around outstanding performance for the Boilermakers defense.
Perry finds Glines. He'll pick up another first down for BC. E.J. Perry out of Andover, Massachusetts, a sophomore, computer science major. His dad was his high school coach. Finished his high school career second all-time in career pass yards in the state of Massachusetts.
And Boston College's offense, 4 turnovers on the day, 7 penalties, 4 key dropped passes, 4 sacks allowed. It's just been a rough day.
Yeah, nobody's good enough to overcome that.
Delay of game warning. The officials were not in position. Second down.
Really?
Well, we saw a delay of game
that
called earlier today with 10 seconds on the clock, and they had to pick up that flag. That was...
I've never heard that.
Some moans from this homecoming crowd here at Purdue. Perry is hit. Lewis goes up to make the catch inside the 5. A gain of 37. That's Boston College's longest play of the afternoon. And Lewis down after the play.
Let's just watch the replay at the end of the play here. Lewis took a shot, does an excellent job after Perry throws a well-thrown ball of getting up and going up top. Not sure what happened there, but Lewis is now being helped off of the field after making a wonderful grab.
Ahmad, you've been a part of games like this. What's going through the mind of a player on the BC sideline right now?
Can I get on the bus? I cannot get on the bus soon enough. I may not even shower after a game like this, because you know this coaching staff is going to attack these players. They are going to get an earful. And you're disappointed in yourself if you're a true competitor. But man, to come out here with all the hype surrounding your ball club and just not do anything, that's very disappointing.
No signal on the run by Levy. So 2nd and goal. There's A.J. Dillon looking on. One of the top rushers in the country. Perry will try to sneak it in, and he gets 6 more for BC, but that's all bookkeeping at this point. All right, so the question that we had posed at the start of the broadcast, who's the 2nd best team in the ACC? We had made the case for BC. Clearly, we've got to go back to the drawing board. So who is that team? Is it Miami? Is it Virginia Tech? Is it NC State? Duke?
I'm not entirely sure that you can give up on Boston College yet. This is not a conference game. They can still beat Clemson. You know, they're still in the mix, I should say. But I think when I start to look at it, you know, teams like Duke have emerged. Syracuse. If Syracuse's Eric Dungy can finally peak his senior year, look, quarterback play is the difference for every title team. And so when I start to look at the ACC and the way that this thing is shaking out, I think it'll be a team when it's all said and done at the end of the year, that'll surprise us, where we'll go, wow, we didn't see that one coming. Is it Boston College? I don't know, but I'm not willing yet to cancel them out either because of the success that I think they had early on in the year.
I think what you said, I don't know. It's Clemson and then
fair enough,
a bunch of question marks. You know, might as well put up a Riddler image.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for Purdue, this was a year where, Purdue, again, with what they lost on defense and losing a lot of senior experience from a season ago, you wondered if it might be a step backward before they can, again, take a couple of steps forward. But with what we've seen today, you get the sense Purdue might sneak up and maybe surprise a few people that we didn't think would happen as this season prolongs. They got better defensively today.
I do, and their confidence.
Onside kick by Carlson. Purdue will recover it, and they'll just take a kneel down and give these fans a home victory.
Man, what a great feeling, especially for that young man right there, David Blau, awarded and earned a starting job a week ago, and this team with the confidence. I personally believe that from top to bottom, the Big Ten is the toughest conference. And I know the SEC elitists will say, are you crazy? But I think when you start to look at from top to bottom, I think for the last 2 years they've been in the conversation, but this year, with the way that the SEC is certainly top heavy, you could look to teams like Boilermakers and strengthening this conference for sure.
For the first time since October of 2011, Purdue has beaten a ranked team.